All right, guys, Shotty T here. Got another video. We are less than an hour before this season is over for me, season 4. Figured this would be a good opportunity to talk about a few things because once the season is over, there's going to be some changes. And of course, the game will give you inbox update on what's going to be permanent moving forward, what's going to immediately stop at reset, and what's going to last probably like another week. And of course, I'll do a video on that. But season 4, I mean, it like I said, the season wasn't as good as it was hyped up to be. Um, some pros and cons. Now there were some good things, there were some bad things, and this is just my thoughts on it. Just gonna go over it one at a time. So let's start with the pros. You know, I always talk about the good stuff first. So obviously, this is just me personally, just the nerd in me. I really like the mahjong thing. It was 42 days. It never increased in difficulty because it kept saying easy, easy, easy. Now, some of those quote unquote easy puzzles were more difficult than others, but for the most part, it wasn't like the actual mahjong game where you actually really tested your mind. But at the same time, they didn't want to make it too complicated. But you had these little things that could help you along the way if you mess up, and I rarely had to use these. So hopefully these are converted to something once the season is over. And then you had the introduction of tactic cards. I mean, you probably could have done more with these, but they were different. Something that was new, that wasn't in the game before season 4. So the tactic cards, I think some of these go away. I was told that maybe these two that's in the middle stick around, so we will see what happens there. Um, Another thing I liked is of course you had these little things here. You always got little Easter eggs, got these little cats in there. We had the level 2 cats that were more prominent early in the season, but they're no longer there. They got little treasures and also these little things here. Let me see if they're still on the map. I think we had some of them labeled. Yeah, these little sushi shops. These were like some things you can just collect random rewards. So there were 10 throughout your server. So if you haven't collected these, well, by the time you watch this video, probably it might be too late. But if it still allows you to collect these next week, just make sure you locate them all on the map. I think our alliance decided to pinpoint all of these on the map so that way teammates could help find those locations. So that was another thing. The map was much more concise because season 3 map was huge. So I don't know if I think it might have been the same size as the seasons before that. I know season 3 map was huge, but that was with the purpose. Um, Another thing, I guess that was interesting about season 4 is that you had the lighthouse. Again, that's another new thing. It added a little dynamic where you can add more power with the morale, and also it helped when it came to like certain events. So that was a plus in itself as well. And trying to see, let me look through the rest of this to see if there was anything else that I liked. I like this other thing that they had going on as well, a little tree of life type of ordeal. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, divine tree blessing. I was trying to look for tree of life. I never got lucky on these, but you know, you get again other stuff to get some artifacts there. You had to use your lights, your electricians to light that up early on. So, so that was the main pluses, and of course I mean, this is kind of like a neutral thing. You pretty much have like these type of stores in every season there. So before I go to the cons, let's talk about some, I guess, some neutral stuff. Like we just talked about it, that store there, the faction duels, of course. I mean, all those wars. Only thing that was kind of unfortunate is with the timing of certain things, and that's going to go into one of the negatives. So let's yeah, I think those are all the neutrals. Oh yeah, and this hero swap event, I was disappointed that it didn't. I mean, of course, it helps people that are like more developed accounts, but I was really hoping that I could use this for myself at some point. But apparently, if you have all the heroes and all that 5 stars, it does you no good. But I thought it would have swapped the exclusive weapons. That way, you can have a chance to get a chance to swap out. If you put somebody at level 30 that you prefer to be at level 0, you can swap it out that way. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that because it's not like I'm putting 2 people at level 30, right? So, and you don't have infinite swaps. So I thought that would have been something that would have taken place this season because I'm just pretty much accumulating these season by season every time this event comes on. All right, so let's get to the negative. So the biggest negative, well, now the protective field that debuted in season 3. I really liked it in season 3, but season 4, I mean, it seemed like out of place. Now, obviously, it had its relevance in some matchups when it gives you extra strength and all that stuff. But I thought they would have, tried to do something more original with this, just like they did with the lighthouse. Just come up with something different. I mean, I guess that's probably like a neutral thing because it brought something that was positive in season 3, and decided to do it again in season 4. Like if it ain't broke, don't break it type of thing. But you gotta try to be a little bit more original with that. Um, like I said, nothing wrong with the season buildings, all that stuff, those concepts, the resistance building. I get all of that, so you don't want to get too uh, get too radical with stuff like that. But by far, the biggest thing I did not like about this season, some of you guys probably know based off some of these videos I posted, is the Blood Knight event. This does not need to come back. I mean, now for me individually, it didn't help because every time this is going on, either I'm asleep or I'm at work. It's just the way that the timing just happened to work out. 8:30, because my schedule, my day job is normally 8 to 5. So 8:30 at work, 4:30 when it comes around at work, 12:30 a.m. I'm asleep. So didn't get a chance to experience this as much. But even that aside, it of course it served its purpose when you were gaining your resistance. You had the second chance to get first blood kills, which was cool. All right, so I like that part of it, and having a chance to be a blood knight hunter again. Didn't get a chance to thoroughly enjoy that part of it. But the biggest gripe, and I get this from a lot of folks, is that when the Blood Knight event happens, it's 2 things associated with this part. Your bases can be attacked by the zombies. Now I know that was part of it, but it ruined 2 things. One, it made daily plunders very difficult to do. Like if you had like a go-to farm that you like to go to that had like a lot of gold or a lot of iron, whatever you were looking for, a lot of times when the Blood Knight event is over, they're at pixel health. So one hit, they're zeroed and they're randomly somewhere on the map. So you had to kind of be more time consuming to find something that you could plunder on a daily basis or just not plunder at all, and that stunted your overall growth. So that was an unfortunate thing. Another thing about it is that, of course, when it attacks your base, it actually kills your troops. It actually kills your troops. Like it's not like it's an event that is harmless to you. So really, the only way that you can avoid not getting hit during the Blood Night event is if, of course, if you're available during each Blood Night event, because there are 3 chances throughout the day where you can get attacked and lose troops. And like my inbox this season has been more people putting out my fires more than anything. Now, obviously, it was putting out my fires during this war, but I got so many putting out fire notifications. It's crazy. Like because every time this event takes place, like it's crazy. You have to literally shield to avoid getting hit, and shields aren't cheap to do every day or 3 times a day, or just do a 24-hour shield. So that's one thing. And then on top of that, if you're training troops, the way that I recommend staggering troops throughout the week, training level sixes all week. Well, what you guys don't know is that each time your base is attacked, it attacks your lowest level troops first. It goes from your weakest to your strongest. So when my base get attacked, those level six I'm training, they die. And so by the time day five hits, I don't have as many day six. I don't have as many level six troops to convert to level seven, eight, and nine because I'm getting attacked 3 times a day. Now they changed it to where those zombies didn't attack as much. I think about probably 2 weeks ago they made that update, but it's still I didn't feel the difference. I think I still got attacked, and I still saw bases out there in the field that were on fire, that had like pixel health remaining. Because a lot of times you got people that have just quit the game. All like you got these half filled. So if you're lucky, if you got someone that's still paying attention to their account, they'll put their own fire out. But a lot of times you'll have a base that's still on fire and got like one hit away from being zeroed. So it just made it difficult to 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 just develop and get your resources in a more economic fashion, and then your troops were stunted throughout. Now, the last thing is not really a season specific thing, but it's really more so, I think, as a loophole that hopefully moving forward, like season five, and then people that are in season two, season three, that they implement this moving forward. And it has to do with the Copper Wars. So when I showed the war earlier today, I had showed you guys a guy in 216 by the name of Puffy Johnson. Now, just to kind of give you an idea, just to show you the relevance of this. So, Puffy Johnson, um, let's go to 216. He's by far the strongest person in the server. He got 16.5 million as his top hero. And his power is roughly around 550 to 600 million, depending on how many troops he has in his battleground. He has a lot of kills. Okay, so and then total hero power over 400 million. There was nobody else in the all of the other servers combined, the other 8 servers. Nobody else. I think the I think they had the top 2 highest people, if I'm not mistaken. I think the second highest person might have been in 254, or the third highest person. Yeah, okay. So the second highest person was in server 254, and then they had the third highest person. But as you can see, there's a big gap between first and second. So the reason why it's relevant now, throughout the whole season, throughout the whole season, all right, it's free to play, of course. Um, Puffy was in this alliance all season. Now they lost some matchups, surprisingly, to alliance that was, I guess, pretty organized on the attack. But going into this last week, he went from this alliance to another alliance in the server. Okay, and I think it was NOA. Yeah, he went to NOA, and he was allowed. Now, of course, whenever you leave an alliance, you have to wait 24 hours before you join the alliance. But keep in mind, the Copper Wars are every 3 days, so you could literally jump around between alliances and literally just be a mercenary and help other people in your server move up the standings, and take a matchup they probably was gonna lose and win. Obviously, the only thing is he can't be in multiple alliances at the same time. But if it's a pivotal matchup, just put Puffy in there. So he went from free to play to NOA. I think as it stands right now, I think he's currently alliant alliant list, because I think he's still in that 24-hour period. Let's just take a look at it, because I think when I showed him last time, he was still not in an alliance yet. So right now he's still not in an alliance because he was in NOA, and I guess he's gonna go back to free to play, and we'll check it out once next season hits if he's back in free to play. I know that's why some people ask, is he leaving 216? No, he's not leaving. He just he's just in transition from NOA to free to play. Now I'm not blaming Puffy for this. Just taking advantage of a loophole. So when you get the Copper Wars, you're in a one alliance all season, and really I had talked about it. We were neck and neck, like we were the underdogs by far. Our faction going against the other faction, but the last week of the season, okay, let's move some people around, and let's try to swing the balance back in our favor. So so in my opinion, moving forward, whatever alliance that you're in, the first 3 weeks of the Copper Wars, you got to stay in that alliance. Like if you leave, you the only thing you can do is go back to that same alliance that you're in. You can't go to another alliance and be like a mercenary and help others out. Cause that's I mean it's not quite the same, but it's like taking over somebody else's account almost. So that that can't happen because we didn't do any of that. And like I said, you got the whole phrase: "If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying." But again, it's I mean, they already had the advantage with him being the strongest person in the whole thing. But then he's allowed to move around. And again, I'm not blaming him for it, just taking advantage of a loophole. But the game needs to cut that out because it ruins the integrity of battles. Because it went from a matchup that was literally neck and neck going into the last week. And Wednesday we did our best to attack, and I knew that lead wasn't uh, large enough to withstand holding off that faction because we were on defense the last, and that's when people went all out. Like we had people that went 4-on-1 against us, which is fine. But like I said, I'm not really worried about because we got our goals that we were setting out when the season started. So we overachieved, which that goes to the spirit of how good we are as an alliance. But I'm just talking about from a bigger picture standpoint that that you gotta you gotta kind of cut that type of stuff out. Like the 24-hour rule, they implemented that a while back where you can't just leave the alliance and immediately join another one. But when it comes to competitive wars where stuff like these rewards make a big difference between one and two, all right, when you got stuff like this for grabs, you can't allow people to just move around alliances the last week, especially if it's a. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a tight match. It's just the principle of it. You can't just move around. So that, like I said, that's not a season four thing. That's just something that I just observed. Because when I saw, oh, Puffy's not in 216, why is he in this other alliance? And that was immediately the thought. And that alliance, I think they ended up finishing number 4 NOA. Free to play, ironically, finished number 6. But it just moving around and taking Copper away from other people to move them down the standings, helping their faction out. That's what really made a difference. So, like I said, if I had to rank all the seasons, season 4 would probably be the second. You only got 4 seasons. Like season 1 is still gonna be the worst season in my opinion, just because I did. I mean, people coming over and taking your territories, and then also you had. I mean that it is. It'll be a separate video in itself why I didn't like season 1. I think I did a feedback on it before. So season 3 still my favorite season. Season 2 I might give a slight edge over season 4. I still haven't decided, but that was kind of the gripe I had. Like I said, season 4 had its pros. We talked about it, but the Blood Night event, like if you had to think about all the different events that all the different seasons had, Blood Night event is the worst event out of all 4 seasons. So I just did not like it at all. It did, not just because I couldn't take advantage of it, just it makes you less productive. You already got other stuff killing your troops throughout the season. But this is like an involuntary thing that you can't do anything about 3 times a day, uh, or you have to be available 3 times a day. And nobody wants to treat this game like a chore. So, but that's my rant, guys. Like I said, the season's about to start. It's about to finish, and we'll go over the rewards. We'll talk about the changes. We got several videos in the pipeline that's gonna come about this upcoming week. More positive notes on it. But sometimes you gotta have videos like this to kind of let you know that, yeah, I like playing the game, but that doesn't mean I agree with everything that the game does. So, but that'll do it, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll talk to you later.